Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Wow, I'm just loving this layout and I'm going to continue with it. I'm going to ask the planets, does Meghan Markle have any regrets? According to the planets, according to the cards, according to the planets speaking through the cards, does Meghan Markle have any regrets? Someone asked me why I've put the cards in this way, and I'll just do a quick explanation. So we have the moon, Mercury, Venus, the sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Oh, which reminds me, I gotta cover boobies. So the reason that they are this way is this is the ages of man. This is the way, or woman, or human, or, you know what I mean. So you start out as the moon. And when you're born until about 4 or 5 years old, you are in a moon period, meaning you reflect what other people are showing you. That's how you learn, by mimicking. You learn your language by reflecting what your parents are saying. You learn how to eat by watching your parents. So that's the moon, that's the reflection. You're reflecting what you're mimicking and reflecting and being a mirror to the parents around you. So that's your moon time. Then you go into Mercury time, which is approximately age 4 to 14. And this is when you learn. This is when you go to school. Most schools start around age 5-ish. All the way up to about 14, which is generally when you go into high school. That's when you know all the basics by then. If you don't know them by then, you're actually quite behind. And that's, your basic math and reading and writing and basic science and whatnot. Then from 14 to 21, you go into your Venus time. And that's when you fall in love. That's, your first love, but possibly your first experiments with the other, the sex that you're interested in. You're pregnant with possibilities. Actually, at that point, you're beautiful, you're young, you're beautiful, carefree. You're starting to enjoy being a young adult, and then you move into the sun time, and this goes to about age 40, and this is when you present yourself to the world. You present yourself, what you're doing in your career. You present yourself, as a parent. You also have children during your sun time. Normally, I'm just talking about generally normal lifetime. You present your children. This is when you start your career. This is when there's lots of growth in your life. Then you hit age 40 to 44, or 40 to 50, and this is your Mars time. This is the classic midlife crisis. This is when you wonder, is it all worth it? This is when a lot of people get divorced, they quit their jobs, they have their midnight life crisis. It's like, what am I missing in my life? And they blow up their life. This is a lot of people don't, but this is the time that it would happen. This is also the time that you become more warrior-like in your beliefs, in what you want to do. Let's say you blow up your career to start your own company. You've got 20 years experience now, and you feel that you could be a better consultant or start your own company. You have that warrior go forth. But if something is about to disrupt in your life, this is the year it will happen. This is when you can blow up your life quite nicely if you aren't careful. Then we go into Jupiter, and Jupiter goes from 50 to 67. And this is the time in your life when you make hay. This is luck and money. This is the Wheel of Fortune. If you have set yourself up properly, this is when you're at the peak of your career. You're making the most money. Perhaps the expenses of the children have left the home. And, this is when you can really concentrate on learning. You're not necessarily learning. You're looking back at your year, what went right, what went wrong, and you're doing some self-correction. And this is when you can make the most money, This is the peak of your earnings before you retire. A person should actually not retire before age 67. A lot of people can't wait. Oh, I'm going to retire early. You're missing out on the best parts that the planets want to help you create that income. It's a little bit different if you blow it up in Mars to start your own business. And it's so funny, a lot of people who start late businesses like, oh, why didn't I start this earlier? But you can retire what you're doing, but it'd be wise to start something until you're at least age 67. And then we go into our Saturn time, which is of course the from 67 onwards. And this is the time we slow down. This is our wisdom time. This is actually Saturn shows up in your body as your body starts to slow down, stiffen up. You go to bed earlier. You appreciate the darkness a lot better. These are your wisdom years. If you look in the Wheel of Fortune, this is when you're learning. This is also Wheel of Fortune when you can be a great teacher. If you see all the signs have books, by the time you get to Saturn, the books are gone. You've learned your lesson. And this is also a very karmic time. If you did not prepare for retirement in your Jupiter years here, your retirement is not going to be as pleasant as you think it's going to be. Also, retirement, this is when our eyes weaken, our senses weaken. This is very Saturn time. Judgment comes upon you. And how you've treated your body is how Saturn is going to treat your body. If you've looked after your body before age 67, then Saturn will also treat your body well. But if you've neglected your body, by the time you reach age 67, you look very aged, very stiff, like I said, hard time getting up in the morning. You prefer going to bed early, that kind of thing. Lack of energy. You also can become very miserable in judging other people and being very jealous of other people. This is why politicians should actually retire after age 67. And I know we got some politicians that are quite a bit older, vying for control and whatnot. And you really shouldn't. You really should. You have maximum. Jupiter is also knowledge and wisdom. You have maximum knowledge and wisdom up until age 67, and then you start to decline. And I think that's why you become so judgmental. You forget some of the wisdom. And also after age 67 is when we see a lot more dementia and old age related memory loss, Alzheimer's, that kind of thing. All right. So that being said, that could be a video on its own. That's why I do them in this order. The planets are in this order. So now, what was our question? Just kidding. Let's clear that. What regrets does Meghan Markle have? What regrets does Meghan Markle have? And we'll specifically be looking at the Mars because she's in her Mars time right now. And also she is a Mars by birth. So we're going to specifically be looking what's happening in her Mars in the Tower. Meghan Markle regrets. Meghan Markle regrets. Meghan Markle regrets. Cards are ready. Wow. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, I forgot. I don't read these in reverse. I must have them upside down. Under the Moon. She's always felt like an outsider. That's one of her regrets. The Star on the Magician. The Star on her Mercury. Cards. The Empress. The Seven of Seven of Wands on top of Venus. The Sun. The Knight of Pentacles on the Sun. That would be her marriage to Harry. Look at that. Do you believe that? She was in her sun time when she married Harry. The Tower, Mars, is the 6 of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune is the Emperor. Wow. She regrets being in the royal family and how she let that luck and money go. And under Saturn is the Queen of Cups. What's the underlying? Just the Chariot, William. Didn't she get the Chariot before? All right, so under the Moon, her regrets is always not being wealthy enough. Regrets always never feeling like she was part of anything. Because that's her emotions and intuition. Just not feeling like she belongs anywhere. She's never felt like she belongs anywhere. She's always felt like she's never had enough. No matter how much she has, it's never enough for her. If she has 10 million, she wishes she had 20 million. If she had 20 million, she wishes she had 100 million. One of her regrets is never feeling like any group. So, and actually, I'm not surprised by this. Now, this is what I've heard from, I've got a friend who's half Japanese. His mother's Japanese, his father's white. And he said he's never felt fully Japanese and he's never felt fully white. And I've heard that from a lot of people who are of mixed race. And I'm wondering if this is it. She's never felt fully black and she's never felt fully white. And even she admits to her, she's only 43% Nigerian. So she's never known where to plug herself into. And what she's had is never enough. And I blame that on growing up in California. In California, I'm pretty sure that's where the saying came from. You can never be too thin or too rich. And it's a very materialistic, and I'm not saying all people from California are like that. I have family in California, like blood relation family. I have good friends in California, and not all of them are like that. But the majority, the culture of California is more and more and more and more. All right, under her Mercury, she has the Star, and that's the way she communicates. And actually, I think she communicates in a way that she is a star. She does these word salads. She does this guest speaker stuff all over the place as if she has this insane amount of knowledge, that she's a star in the communication world. I mean, she calls herself guest speaker. She is a guest speaker on William Morris agencies. Or whatever, it's the arm of the William Morris endeavors. She's a guest speaker. So under the Magician here, also, this tells me she thinks she's smarter than she actually is. She thinks she's a star in the intellectual world, in the communication field. And that could be why she can't let go of talking online, because she thinks that's her forte, is the way she communicates, is her intelligence. And if you look at some of the things, I always think that when all these anonymous accounts are projections, and all these ones that praise Meghan, how beautiful she is and how smart she is. She's constantly going on about how intelligent Meghan is, and that shows up in the Star here right off the bat. So under regret, she might regret she's not that smart, but yet she's put it off that way. So under the Empress here, under Venus, we have the Seven of Wands. And isn't that interesting that she's constantly having to defend herself about being pregnant, about being beautiful, heart attack beautiful. Like, who says that? Nobody says that. She's constantly defending herself. So what regrets does she have under for Venus, which is luxury and beauty and pregnant with possibilities, is that she's done things that she's had to defend herself, that she's had to take the high road. She has to constantly defend, was she pregnant? She has to constantly defend her marriages and all that kind, pregnant with possibilities. We all say that she is woefully inadequate. And here she is defending herself. No, look at all the things I can do. I'm pregnant with possibilities. And this is showing that she's constantly having to defend that. And she regrets that she always constantly has to defend that. Now here, interesting, under the sun, under her new beginnings, the central aspect of this reading, also it's interesting, I started this reading with explaining the different ages of mankind. She would have been in her sun time when she married Harry, and here's the Knight of Pentacles. So her biggest regret is meeting Harry, marrying Harry. I'd like to know what Harry's regret is regarding that. His reading is next. Her biggest regret is Harry. Wow. So let's go to the Tower moment here, which is Mars, which is in the time that she's in right now. And what do we have here? The Charity card. Her biggest regret is getting this charity going. I think in this age, I think before the age of 50, this charity is going to blow up on her. It's going to blow up in her face big time. Also in the Tower moment, as I explained, this is the midlife crisis. This may be the divvying up of the money that they have that's coming. So she may be regretting, maybe not making a better deal. Because as I've always said, the Charity card is not balanced. The person divvying out the money always takes some for themselves. So, for example, you're going through a divorce, and let's say your settlement is $100,000. Well, the lawyer says, well, I'll take my $10,000 first. Thank you very much. Right? So something like that is going to happen, but her midlife crisis is going to be over this charity that they started and ran. Now, under her Jupiter, under luck and money, her biggest regret is the royal family. Can you imagine? I think her biggest regret is because she knows how illegal it is. I think she knows that the emperor can also be the head of the IRS or the CEO of something. There's some kind of big regret here, but the emperor is the king, is the leader. Also, Aries is the royal family as well as Leo. I think this is, because Aries are leaders, I think this is her big regret, is tussling with this royal family. That's her luck and money, and I think her biggest regret is now she understands where her luck and money is, and she's regretful that she let that go. Doesn't this reading just blow your mind? Now we get to Saturn, Queen of Cups, the Saturn. Now, we've read a lot that the Queen of Cups is Diana, and I'm wondering if she has some regret she doesn't have more of Diana's things, or people didn't see her like Diana 2.0. I'm going to say this out loud, and I might have to edit it out. I wonder if she has big regrets. The royal family hasn't done something to her like they did Diana, like take away her titles, give her a payout, that kind of thing. Because Diana seemed to really blossom after she left the royal family. She didn't have the confines of a title. She didn't have the confines of royal family protocol. Like, if you notice in some of the pictures after she lost her title and after she was divorced, she's wearing red nail polish for one, or going to more parties and whatnot, and more freedoms and whatnot. So I'm wondering if she's regretting that they haven't treated her like a Diana. They haven't taken away her title so people will feel sorry for her. Or that she's like, no, I'm free to do what I want, which doesn't make sense to me because she's free to do what she wants anyways right now. But then she would have this sympathy and the adoration that Diana had. And also, it almost feels like after after Diana left the royal family, she seemed to let go some of the things that were, like some of her mental health issues and whatnot. So I'm wondering if some of the regrets that she has is that she didn't look more emotionally stable. She might be looking at, because the Queen of Cups is emotional stability. I just think there's something here that she has regrets about not looking more emotionally stable. Maybe not looking more like Diana, like a mother, the mother figure. Diana always was, about the boys, about, doing things with the boys, etc., etc. She may have some regrets that she actually isn't like Diana, that she's not being stalked and she has to pay photographers to stalk her. But it's interesting, the underlying here, her biggest regret is William. We all said she was actually initially after William. But yeah, the cornerstone here of her regrets is Harry. And it's interesting, this card is pointing this way and it says all the royal family. Ever since she married into the royal family, no one made her make that a legal charity. I think she regrets leaving the royal family and she regrets not acting more emotionally stable. It's tough to shake. All right, this is extra long. I'm going to go on to Harry's now without the big explanation. Please take good care of yourselves. It's a crazy world out there right now. Thanks for watching. See you online. Bye for now.